Chapter 8, Mishnah 1. Truma may be eaten by a Kohen and members of his household. This includes his wife, even if her father is not a Kohen, and his Canaanite slaves. This Mishnah discusses several cases where a person was eating Truma thinking that he was allowed to do so, and then finds out that he is in fact forbidden to eat Truma. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. A woman who was married to a Kohen was eating truma, and people came and said to her, "Your husband died," or "Your husband divorced you. Thus, she is no longer married to a Kohen and may not eat truma." Similarly, a Canaanite slave of a Kohen was eating truma, and people came and said to him, "Your master died, and you were inherited by Yisrael," or "Your master sold you to a Yisrael," or "Your master gave you to a Yisrael as a gift," or "Your master made you a free man." In all these cases, the slave no longer belongs to a Kohen, and thus may not eat truma. Similarly, a Kohen was eating truma, and it became known that he was the son of a divorced woman, or the son of a chalutza, a woman who performed chalitza, and thus not a qualified Kohen. In all of the above cases, Rabbi Eliezer obligates the woman slave or disqualified Kohen to pay for the principal, i.e. the value of the truma that he ate, and the extra fifth, just like any non-Kohen who eats truma unintentionally. But Rabbi Yoshua exempts them from paying anything. The Mishnah discusses a situation similar to the last one mentioned. Here too, Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua disagree. A Kohen was standing and bringing offerings on the altar, and it became known that he was the son of a divorced woman or the son of a chalutza, and thus forbidden to serve in the temple. Rabbi Eliezer says all the offerings that he has ever brought on the altar are invalid, since he was not an eligible Kohen. But Rabbi Yoshua says that the offerings are valid. However, if a Kohen was serving in the temple and it became known that he had a physical defect that disqualifies him from serving in the temple, everyone agrees that his service is invalid.